Ladies and gentle people, do I have a special episode for you today. So not only do we have an extra episode of Setup Wars this week, but we have a special episode as well. Welcome to Setup Wars episode 53, PC Desk Edition. So these setups are way too good to be in a regular Setup Wars episode, and they're overpowered to be in a PC Wars episode, so I thought I'd gather all of the contestants and make a special dedicated video just for them. Let the PC Wars, oh Jesus, let the Setup Wars begin. Never pay full price for games ever again, guys. G2A offers the cheapest CD keys you can find anywhere. Check them out by clicking on the link below. If you guys want to check out the full specs for these PCs, I'll have them linked below, but here are your 5 master builders. We have Corey, Georgios, Jeffrey, Peter, and Stens. I am so sorry for butchering your name. This first setup should come as no surprise, since Corey has been featured on PC Wars episode 6 with this very impressive Joker color scheme. This monster is rocking a 5960X and 3 EVGA GTX 980s super clocked edition. It also has 32GB of RAM and 17 terabytes of hard drive space. 17 terabytes. He's got storage for days. Of course, with all this power, you gotta be rocking a multi-monitor setup, so we have two 27-inch LG monitors, sandwiching a 27-inch Asus monitor, which are all hooked up on a monitor arm. After all, why would you place those displays on the desk and block the precious view? The front of the desk houses a car head unit, which the two 4-inch speakers are hooked up to for listening to radio and also to receive phone calls by Bluetooth through the desk. Truly a one-of-a-kind setup. Thank you, Corey, for starting things off strong. Next up, we have Georgios that has a setup which isn't as extreme as the first, but nonetheless, it's still pretty badass. We have a single 27-inch Dell monitor up top, a Corsair Strafe RGB keyboard, and a Razer MMO gaming mouse on top of the awesome red and white build. Adding those LED strips around the desk definitely was a good choice. So this build is rocking a 5820K that's overclocked to 4.4, and it's paired with two Sapphire R9 290s. And finally, we get to see some AMD GPUs in these high-end builds. I really like how we use both red and white tubes and fans to stay consistent with the theme. Overall, another awesome PC desk. Thank you, George, for entering. Jeffrey is next up with something a little different. So instead of a full glass desk, we have a smaller window showing off his build, which appears to have a red and black theme. A 4770K overclocked to 4.0 and a GTX 980 paired with the Asus ROG Maximus 6 motherboard. If I'm being honest, there's not much of a presentation on the outside. I mean, we have two different size monitors, and the art on the table surface really doesn't go well with the rest of the PC. I mean, at least it matches with the speaker stands. This setup definitely has the potential to be something even better, but this is definitely a start and it's badass nonetheless. Now this is what I'm talking about. Right off the bat, you can see that the presentation is much better with Peter's setup. We have an LG ultrawide in the middle with two Dell displays in vertical mode on each side and a pair of Bose speakers underneath. On the desk, he has a Corsair K70 RGB keyboard and the Corsair Saber mouse on top of the Razer Firefly mousepad. So this is a black and neon green theme, which is something I've actually never seen before. It's running a 5960X overclocked to 4.5 GHz and two GTX 980s in SLI. Even some parts are painted neon green like the SSDs to give it that extra spice. Now you guys might be wondering where on earth the radiators are. Well, apparently he put them underground where it's nice and cool. Excellent work with cable management as well. Just an overall amazing setup and PC build. Thank you, Peter, for entering. Last but not least, we have Stens and his battle station. So we pretty much have two setups, a laptop on the right and a dual monitor setup to the left. Right smack in the middle of these two, you can find two enormous reservoirs for their water-cooled PC, and below that you can find the build itself that's running on a 3930K and a GTX 770. I like the front panel that's displaying the SSDs like it's in some sort of museum, and the red LED strips up top and the red LED fans near the bottom. There's definitely a lot of planning and work that got put into the creation of this, and for that I applaud you. Even though some parts are outside the desk, I still consider this a PC desk setup. Thank you, Stens, for entering. It's gonna be a tough decision, to be honest, but which one of these setups do you guys think deserves to win and move on to the best desk setups of 2016? make sure you guys drop your comments down below and vote. I will announce the winners on my Twitter and Instagram accounts next week on Saturday, so make sure you're following me there if you want to know who wins. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this special and extra episode of Setup Wars, make sure to hit that like button. And I will see you in the next video.